Are you ready? Are you ready for Christmas? Are you? Are you ready? Just doing the dog's chicken. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for Christmas. I don't know what it is. I think living here, that doesn't fit. I've got the dog's chicken and a lid that I thought fits on it and it doesn't fit. So when you can't do it, improvise. I think over the years of living here, the fact that we don't get snow, I think that's the biggie, you know what I mean? I think that's the one that really doesn't get me into the Christmas spirit, you know? It's a bit weird, like, but it's just not, I can't get in the Christmas spirit. You chicken. I can't get into the Christmas spirit with it. And it's weird because Shelley's gone back to the UK. She went back Sunday. She's there for a week. And I know she's gone back to Calvin and Rachel's, her son and daughter-in-law, and they've got the tree up. And they've had the tree up since the 1st of November. And it's like, I can't see how that works, you know what I mean? I just can't get there. This one, I most probably feel like a right bar humbug on this. It's a bit weird. Because I was out walking the dog this morning, and as I'm walking through the main village, I can see that, like, it's also, I think, a question of like the token effort. You know, when you go back to the UK and all the shops are all Christmased up, you've got like your B&M, you've got your, you know, all your, everything's selling Christmas everywhere you go. I think, you know, even to the point where most probably Asda have got everything out, and Sainsbury's and all that sort of stuff. They've got everything out. Yeah, here, our high street. I mean, take a look at our high street now. As you can see, it's not really the best, is it? You know what I mean? It's like a token gesture. It's a token gesture. Don't get me wrong. There's places on the island, I think up in Santa Cruz, La Laguna, La Orotava, that they've got actually massive, fantastic Christmas lights. But where we are, so far out of the way, they've put a little thing on the roundabout, and they've put a little thing up in the trees. But the rest of this high street doesn't really have much to show for it. You know what I mean? I told you, I think the other week, I've been litter picking in this area, and you can see the difference. But there is still some kids are dropping litter. I think it must be a school run area where kids walk home or something. There you go, mate. There you go. Because it tends to be energy drinks more than anything else that I tend to see. And like, I filled up two massive bin bags last time, you know, the first time I was there, maybe three bin bags. And now it's starting to come back again, you know. And I tell you what's weird, it's not just that, it's cans as well, like beer cans. Who drinks beer? Who drinks beer in the street? You know, like a can of beer and just like decide to fill a can. I do think the mentality of Canarian people is maybe our mentality from maybe the 90s, where litter was more prevalent, because that road that you see me walking on there, there's not one bin to be seen. There's not one on that street. So therefore, what they do is they go, we'll just throw it out, and we'll just throw it in the, we'll just throw it out onto the road then. You know what I mean? So that I see that quite a bit. But take me back to Christmas. What gets you? What gets you into the Christmas spirit? What gets you, literally, where is your Christmas spirit? Where does it come from? Because for me, I do believe the moment Halloween's out of the way, you go back to the adverts change on the TV, the Christmas trees come up on, you know, your morning TV shows, and the Christmas and the news shows, you start seeing like sprinklings of it. I don't even watch mainstream TV anymore. For the first time last night, I was watching I'm a Celebrity. Not seen it for like years, and I've put it on. And it's that was something that got me in Christmas spirit, because what got me in the Christmas spirit earlier on was obviously having kids. That got me into the Christmas spirit. Work, when In December, we had to put the decorations up in the car showroom, so that got me in the Christmas spirit. Then the music starts playing on the radio, changes. You go into work and back with the, every so often they drop a Christmas song in, which will most probably start happening next week. And it's then the slow build up, the adverts on the TV, the excitement of my kids, the planning. I think he was hungry. So all that sort of stuff, that gets you into the Christmas spirit. But when that gets taken away from you, and at the moment I just see it as November, and we don't have the weather, to get us into that spirit, let's say, I don't know what it is that's going to inject us into it, to get me into it and get me up and running. And Shelley's gone back to the UK, as mentioned. She's got now, the weather's gone cold. I think she's just missed the snow. But because the weather's gone cold, you've got that feeling of wrapping up warm. You've got the feeling of winter. All the leaves have gone from the trees. What shocked me, actually more than anything, was last week I was at work in a bar, in a sports bar, and as I'm working, there's a big TV screen in front of me, and it was the horse racing, and it was the grit on the grass, but the grass was mixed with white because obviously it had been snowing or frost or whatever. And I looked up and went, Christ, yeah, because it's November, that's going to happen. And you don't realise when you live here, you genuinely don't realise that is actually what happens, with the time of year, that obviously it's seasonal. And for you lot, for people living back in the UK. And I just genuinely didn't realise it. And it really took me by surprise that the seasonal, it was seasonal and that was happening. So that's really also what I don't have that gets me into the Christmas spirit, So the next thing then is then planning for Christmas makes it so much harder, because Shelley's knew she was going back to the UK. She's got the Christmas shows going on. That'll get her into the Christmas spirit. She knew that was going on. Because she knew she was going back to the UK, look for a Tito. Because she knew she was going back to the UK, what she did was she obviously raided Amazon a couple of weeks beforehand in preparation, so all the packages are going to be back there ready for UK. So she's now planned for Christmas. Her presents are done and dusted, so she's going to go back. She goes back, takes an extra case, always, or a bigger case, because she knows she's got more stuff to bring back. Me, on the other hand, I've done nothing. I've done absolutely nothing. And it's like typical bloke, isn't it? And it's like, yeah, but the opportunity hasn't arisen for me to do anything because I can't, because I'm not going back to the UK, so therefore I don't need to do Amazon orders, because Amazon doesn't really get you, into Tenerife very well. Then it's like, what do I get Shelley for Christmas? We've talked about doing something big. We've talked about maybe booking a holiday and getting a holiday tour, because if we don't book it, we never go. That's another thing. If we don't book it, we never ever go. So the question is then, is what else can I get her that'll surprise her? Because I've done this previously and talked about this previously. We're 6 years into our relationship now. But when you start off into a relationship, you go all out, don't you? You make sure your first one, Christmas, birthdays, whatever, is absolutely smashed out of the park. That's what you do. And it's, you're 100% at it, aren't you? So really, your first Christmas together, you couldn't have done anything better, could you? Even if you tried, you couldn't have done anything better. You went all out from the start. You guys have seen it, the stuff that we did, rubber on the wall, the jet skis, birthdays and stuff like that. Trouble is, 6 years down the line, struggling for ideas, absolutely struggling for ideas. And this is where it gets a little bit like, oh, come on, Rick. You know what I mean? And I'm like racking my brains, thinking, trying, and I just I don't know what to do. I don't know what to get her. So she's going to come back now on Saturday, I think. Yeah, she's coming back Saturday. And she's going to be full on Christmas spirit. Get the tree up, get all this done and stuff like that. And I'm going to be Scrooge, dragging my heels, and I don't want to be, but I will be, because I'm in that spirit at the moment, because you've seen the decoration that you see in the town centre, nothing like what you get back in the UK. And it's really going to be difficult. No, it's really going to be interesting to see how I then evolve and get into that Christmas spirit. I even said to my daughter, what do you want for Christmas, my youngest, and she's like, can you send us some money? And I'm like, okay. Even that takes the fun out of it a little bit, doesn't it? Rather than saying, I want this or I want that. Megan's there with a fellow, and she's fully now involved with him. So then, you know, it's not like your kids don't need you anymore or want you anymore. It's just the fact is the direction's gone, isn't it? So I genuinely don't know how he's going to feel and how we're going to do it. We are ending up at Megan's for Christmas dinner. I know that for a fact, because Will's fancies himself as a bit of a cook. So I think we were chatting, we were going to go out with some friends. But when I saw Megan's face, I realised there and then about how important it was for her that we actually go for the Christmas dinner with her, I think. So that's what we're going to do on the Christmas day itself. But I still need to get into the Christmas spirit, that's for sure. I realise I've just done the whole video and I've got this clock in the background, which you can see is, he's not looking at his best. I cannot explain to you how much I actually miss that clock, how much I look at the clock and want to see it. I just miss it all the time. It's, I just keep looking, you glance it through the day, just going, what time is it as you're walking past? And I can't believe it's just, it's not there. So hopefully she's got one of them in her bag for when she gets back and we start putting it back up again, because I actually miss it. The other one, it's knackered, it fell off with it falling off the wall. It all got a little bit skew whiff and a little bit not very healthy. So I think it's had its day. I've kept it until she comes back with another one and see what we can do. With a new one, I suppose. And see how it goes. I was mentioning the litter picking up thing. I was thinking about this when I was walking the dog. In the last couple of weeks, I've done picked the litter up on the route from when I walk my dog. It's a 5k walk. And I've picked the litter up. I've been out there with a bag. I've got my, my little grabber, you squeeze it and it's like a fork at the end that does that. And then putting it in the bins. And I actually asked myself why I did it. Why I do it. Because when I'm walking now, it does look a lot better, but now it's getting dirtier again, because just as I say, it's on kids' route. And I'm asking myself why it is I actually do it. And it was today in the walk that I realised why I actually do it. And it was more to the fact of, I remember back in the UK when I had a dog in the UK, and I used to walk him down to the park. Every Saturday morning, every Friday night, all the kids, teenagers, used to go to the park as well, and they used to like drink or whatever and sit on the grass. And every Saturday morning I used to turn up and the place just was littered. And I started doing it then, and I could collect 2 bin bags full, because it was a really big park where the kids were hanging around, and I was out there for ages with the dog. And I used to pick the bin bags up and just leave them next to the bin. And I was thinking to myself, why? I didn't even think anything of it, I just did it. But what I was thinking this time is, why do I actually do it? And I think it comes down to the fact of my own guilt when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I used to litter. Because not on purpose, because I didn't really know not to. So therefore I littered. And, I reckon in those days, somebody must have done it for me, picking up after me. And therefore, nowadays when I'm doing it, I'm picking after somebody else. And I don't feel any emotion from it. I don't feel angry from it. Or I don't feel annoyed about it. It's just a matter of fact that I'll just do it, because it doesn't cost me anything really. I'm out there anyway. And I think that's the easiest way to explain it, because if it's like giving back, innit? It's like not repenting for your sins. I was a litterer when I was a kid. I was an uneducated litterer, didn't know much about it, and just threw it onto the floor and moved on. And now I'm in a position where hopefully I can repent. For more's the word, I think. For the eagle-eyed of you, you might have noticed I'm still in my scruffs. I'm going to work later, so I get changed. When I go and walk the dog, I just literally put a dirty t-shirt on, because he drags me everywhere. I'm in, through bushes and stuff like that with him. So I'm in my scruffs, but I've got to go to work later. I've got a busy day. I've actually got the dentist again. I was looking at the time. I've got the dentist at 12 just to finish off. No, 12:30 I've got the dentist. What time actually is it? So I know. So I've got to go to the Golf Del Sur for the dentist at 12:30. It's currently 10:50, so I've got an hour. Dentist at 12:30. And then I'm working at the Rum Pot, doing the bingo and the quiz for them, and then I'm home from 5 o'clock. So the dog's gonna be home from 12 till 5:30, 5.5 hours. That's why I find it's important that what is he doing? He's out there somewhere. Can you see him over the car? He's messing around with his turtle. He's got his toy turtle out there. I need you to see this. See what you think of this. It's times like this that I think should we get another friend for Rolo. Because even though he's been out and done 5K, he's got all this land, but he's looking a little bit lost to me. Almost as if he's like sad, you know what I mean? So he plays around with his turtle, he loves his turtle. But he's just, I'm gonna have to leave him at 12 o'clock till 5:30. And hopefully the walk and everything's giving him enough sleep, enough time for him to go to sleep. But it's a difficult conundrum because taking on another dog, first of all, you've got to make sure they're compatible, which I don't have an issue with. I think Life Paws will sort that out for us. They've already earmarked one dog for us, 4 or 5 years of age. But it's just times like this you think he just needs somebody else there to play with to keep his entertainment going, you know what I mean? They give you so much pleasure, they really do, but even though they give you so much pleasure, it's like he's giving me pain because I think he's lonely. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with him. When I see him like that, he can hear me now, so he's looked round. Interesting one. Right, so it's time to go to work clothes on. Let's get that sorted. There you go. Not too shabby. Right, off to work. No, off to the dentist first, and then work. That place, by the way, is the most amazing dentist I think I've ever been to. I've just been injected here, so I can't. I feel like a Bell's palsy victim, I think. Just part of the daily routine, really, isn't it? It's a daily routine on the golf. Traffic to get off the golf's absolute nightmare, so hence the reason I've come down on my bike. I actually used to have one of them when I lived in Holland. That's the bike I had. I missed that. I wish I had that now. Anyway, off to work this time. And just like that, the day's done. It's not been too bad. It's been busy. Left the house at 11:30. It's now 10 to 6. And managed to get most stuff done. Started off at the dentist, had to go all the way over to the golf. You see, I've got the hoodie on. It's freezing up here. I've got a question for you. Would you rather sacrifice your time in traffic, or would you rather be cold? Because I knew the traffic at the moment on this island is absolutely a joke. Up near Shafirus is crazy because they're doing massive roadworks up there. That's been going over, I think it's ran over a year already, ran over. And they reckon it's going to be another year before it gets finished. So when I went to the dentist and I left there to get over to work, if I was in a car, it would have took me about 1 hour and 15 to get off Golf del Sur, top of Shafirus, to get myself into town. I got into town, and I'm near San Eugenio, for those that you know San Eugenio, and the traffic was absolutely to a standstill. And the reason why it was to a standstill, because it turns out I think there was a mentally disturbed man who was sat cross-legged in the middle of the zebra crossing at a cost of everybody else. Once again, thank goodness, on a scooter, on a moped, you can cut through it. If I was in a car, I'd have been late for work, that's for sure. I'd definitely been late for work. Did a few hours down at the Run Pot, did the quiz and games, got that up and running. It was absolutely nice afternoon, lovely afternoon, nice people. And I saw Daz Preston. He was there with his family and friends, which was good. And I've had to stop off now at the for the supermarket. And it's amazing, these little scooters, how much you can, are we on there? How much you can carry. So I've had to get that so I can go home and now feed the dog. I'm actually on my driveway and ready to call it a night tonight. Looking forward to seeing the dog, having an afternoon, having an evening on the couch, watching a bit of TV and just chilling. So for those of you back in the UK, Shelley, funnily enough, is actually having Christmas Day today with our granddaughter Ava and her son and daughter-in-law as well. So guys, if you're watching, Calvin, Rachel and Ava, Merry Christmas. I've seen what we've got, Ava. She looks like she's absolutely loving it. And I'll, for you, everybody else, I think there'll be a couple more vlogs before actual Christmas. I need to start getting into the Christmas spirit, I think. I think that's what it's all about. Let me know how you guys get into the Christmas spirit, what you recommend I could do, apart from just stop being a miserable arse. Recommend what I could do, because when you've got this thing in the sky firing at 30 degrees or 20, I think it was about 26 degrees today, it's a bit difficult to do it. But now it's going to be wrapping up warm for the evening, all right? As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All the best. Have a great day.